name is Aidin Robbins, I'm a filmmaker, and in this video, I want to talk you through something that I guess I would call solo filmmaking. This is a style of filmmaking that's really popular online right now. You'll see a lot of videos of people just going out and making these little films and videos completely alone. There's a lot of tripod shots, it's very quiet, slow-paced, relaxing, and a lot of them are pretty outdoorsy. So that's exactly what we're doing today. I came out to one of my favorite trails. We're gonna do some solo hiking and camping and make a little video, and Adorama sent me a bunch of gear that I'm gonna be using to create that video, and I'm gonna walk you through the process of how I'm using all of it throughout this one. Since this is a solo shoot, there's no one else here to shoot this behind the scenes video, so I'm gonna bring along this little action camera, stick it on my hat, and show you exactly what I'm getting up to behind the camera. And just a word of warning before we start, if you're a stickler for treating cameras well and being careful with your gear, this might not be the video for you. Wouldn't want any moisture getting in there. So the main tool that Adorama sent me to highlight in this video is this set of Rokinon CF cinema lenses. And they sent me 5 of these, a 16mm, a 24, a 35-50, and 85mm, but I shoot very wide and I had to keep my kit slim for this kind of backpacking camping style video. So I only ended up using the 16 and the 24. Just gonna run over here and set up a nice composition of the car. Get a nice shot pulling up to our quote-unquote trailhead here. These lenses have a really sturdy build, and there's also some extra weight which helps for stabilizing the camera. And because they're cinema lenses, they have a really long focus throw, so you get that nice precise focus, and if you are going to be racking focus during the shot, that's going to be really nice and smooth. It's definitely a luxury as opposed to just using photography lenses like I normally would. They're also super sharp, the bokeh is creamy. Yeah, they're cinema lenses, so you get a fantastic, beautiful, flawless image out of them. Definitely an upside. The only downside using these as opposed to just regular cheaper photography lenses is that there's no autofocus, no communication with the camera, any of those little bells and whistles that can make it a little quicker to shoot. But it can also be a good thing, kind of being a little more active behind the camera rather than relying on those automatic features. My tripod of choice is the classic Peak Design travel tripod. I have my gripes with it, mainly the durability. I can chew through one of these in like less than a year easily, but it just works. It's convenient. It's good for a situation like this where you need to be able to set it up quickly, and it's a tripod. It's metal feet that hold your camera. There's not much more I can say about it. It does what it does. All right, off we go. Time to do some actual hiking. I'm also using my Rode VideoMic Pro Plus for this video, as well as every other video I make. You can see I've very professionally duct taped it to the top of the camera. Fun fact about the Pocket 6K Pro, it doesn't have a hot shoe mount on the top, so you might want to bring some tape if you want to use an on-camera microphone. For real though, with so many small detail sounds like footsteps and zippers and my bag moving around, it's best to just capture clean audio in camera as much as you can. For most of the hiking shots in this video, it was too windy to get anything usable, but the mic was really nice to have there for the packing and cooking clips, getting those small detail sounds so I don't have to worry about adding those back in post. I like it when these videos lean into kind of a more surreal aesthetic. So when I was shooting the cooking and camping scene in the car, I took this Godox light tube, set it on a nice warm color temperature, and just set it right in the middle of the car to give it a nice warm glow from the inside, add some extra practical lighting, and give a bit of color contrast from the blue hour ambience outside of the car. There we go, that's nice. One of the nice things about the Blackmagic 6K is the dual native ISO. So even though it's pretty dark, I can just punch up to 5,000 here and be slightly above the native ISO of 4,000, rather than having just the native ISO at like 640, and then this being a complete noisy mess. All right, so this evening's shoot did not go
entirely to plan. I was hoping that the weather would clear up and I could pitch a tent and sleep out on the trail tonight, get some cool camping footage, but the weather actually ended up developing into a full-on thunder and hailstorm. So I bailed, came back here, and we're car camping for the night here. But that's all right, still got a bit of cool footage. And while we're here, I want to talk to you a bit about the camera that I'm using to shoot this video. I think we can finally take a little bit of this tape off of it now that it's no longer raining. And this is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. The dynamic range and the color science are incredible. It's got a ton of useful features that you would find in a cinema camera like this, like the zebras and the false color and the focus peaking, the giant screen on the back for framing shots. We're shooting 6K RAW, which is nice, shooting in RAW, because it means that I don't have to worry about messing up my white balance, because I can just set it in post, especially a day like today where we have clouds constantly moving in and out. 6K RAW footage, of course, takes up an absurd amount of space, so instead of a regular old SD card, I'm instead shooting on these Angelbird CFast cards. This is a 1 terabyte card, 560 megabytes a second. Definitely a little beefier than your typical like 128 gigabyte SD card.
And finally, I've opened this video with a nice kind of locational establishing shot, which I shot using my Mavic Air 2S. This is my go-to drone. It's a good bit cheaper than the other options like the more recent Mavic 3 Pro, and the footage is pretty much the same, dare I say. When it comes to cameras and lenses and other gear, there's always a balance between the convenience of using a certain tool and the quality of the result that that tool produces. And it's up to you to decide where your ideal kit falls along that sliding scale. I hope this video can help you at least a little bit in making that decision. So that being said, enjoy a solo hiking video shot on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro in Rokinon Cine lenses.